Yo guys, what is going on? You've got Techno here, your coach of the Carolina Pantherians, and today we are back with something pretty different than I bet a lot of you were expecting. Maybe some of you were expecting it, but either way, we are here with our first GBA D-League upload. Now, for those of you who don't know, I did actually replace ItzTurbo as a coach in the GBA D-League, and so basically, I just thought that it would be cool to get more exposure, and I also have been trying to get into this league for a while now. In the application process, I believe I was either 13th or 14th or something like that, 13th or 12th or something. Another guy was above me in the application process. No, wait, never mind. I had to be something else. Anyways, I was somewhere up there, and another guy was above me, but apparently he was a dick or something. So here we are, and yeah, I am just going to be taking over for Turbo in this league, and I am very excited. The GBA has been near and dear to my heart for a very long time. First league I ever watched. Watching Shady Penguin, I followed the D-League seasons for a while now, so very excited to be a part of it. But without further ado, yeah, sad to see my good pal Turbo going. I know that he definitely put a lot of effort into this league, and so it's sad to see him leaving, but yeah, what can you really do about it? I mean, it's good for us, obviously, but I'm obviously sad because I wanted to play Turbo. We played him in the NPL Minors Championship, where we won, and yeah, he's just a very good pal, so sad to see him go, but we are here with new opportunities, and yeah, let's just get into our first week game. So I made no changes to Turbo's team, and I'm up against Leo, coach of the Durham Druddigons, and he is doing incredibly in the league as of right now. I believe he is 6-1, so a win for him this week would basically, I guess, like secure him playoffs in a sense. Just with the amount of weeks left and the records going into it. Our record is 3-4 that we have inherited, which is not good, but it's definitely manageable. If we do manage to win this week, I think that we should be able to be in a good position to kind of like pull back and maybe even make like a last-second playoff run. Anyways, you guys know Leo's team. He's got Magearna, Nidoqueen, Mega Medicham, Infernape, Zygarde, 10%, Whimsicott, which was a free agent pick, Zoroark, Cresselia, Miltank, Alomomola, and Rotom Frost, which is also a Z user. Now, Magearna is absolutely the stupidest Pokemon in League format if your league allows it. It's ridiculous. I don't even know how to get into how ridiculous Magearna is. There's definitely some debate of whether it's broken or not, but I think mostly, there's almost a unanimous like agreement that Magearna is indeed broken. It's not a lot of Z moves, but even still, it's still just ridiculously hard to switch into, ridiculously hard to kill, and that's the most annoying part about it. It's so hard to beat down. The rest of his team is also really annoying too. He's got some really nice cores, stuff that I'm gonna have a lot of trouble breaking through, but I think that's the main issue on his team. The rest of my team can basically just beat down everything else with the way that I have constructed it. So let's just get right into that. So the first one I have is going to be our Nidoking with Substitute, Disable, Earth Power, and Toxic. A little bit of a heat set coming here this first week. Max Special Attack, Max Speed with Timid. That way I'm able to Speed type with the Cresselia, get a sub up. If he Psychics me, I can always just Disable. That's the purpose of this set, to kind of stall out the Cresselia, as well as to punch some holes in his team. Does well versus mons like Magearna and Nidoqueen, which is really good. Infernape, it is able to beat down as well if I am behind a sub. Being behind a sub is kind of crucial though, because that would mean that if I'm not behind it, a lot of mons on his team can do big damage to me, or just possibly just OHKO me entirely, considering I am not a bulky Nidoking. So I'm going to need to be kind of careful about that, make sure I know when to be behind a sub, when not to be, when to just try to set up, and yeah, as long as I'm careful with that, this Nidoking could put in quite a bit of work. So next one we have here, going to be our Choice Scarf Tapu Bulu with Wood Hammers and Headbutt, Superpower and Horn Leech with 252 attack with an Adamant Nature, 228 speed, so that I am able to outspeed Whimsicott with my Scarf, and 28 in HP. Now, the reason I'm bringing Scarf over any other set is because I figured this thing would be a nice surprise Scarfer, as well as the fact that this thing, it's just overall really good to break through a lot of mons on his team. Now, the main issue with this is it's walled by Magearna and it's walled by Miltank. However, this isn't really built to beat them. I've got plenty of other mons that can beat both of them. Magearna is obviously a struggle anyways. This thing does a lot of damage to Magearna too with Wood Hammer if possible. Does nothing to Miltank if he's a Sap Sipper. Which I've already like understood. I've got Superpower for that reason. Zen Headbutt for Infernape too, just in case I need that to OHKO. But yeah, This thing's mainly just a surprise Scarfer, and it can possibly get a few surprise KOs on something like Mega Medicham or the Zygarde or something like that. So I think it's a pretty good mon this week. Also helps with mons like Zoroark if they want to come in, and I have something to outspeed that now, and just Oko it, which is good. Speaking of mons that outspeed everything on their team, we've got the Aerodactyl right here. Now the reason I'm bringing this Aerodactyl is because, like I said, this speed stat allows it to outspeed everything, and it just kind of breaks through everything. Alomomola and Cresselia are very annoying for this thing, as well as Miltank, but everything else, this thing's just a very nice mon to beat down. I've got other mons that you guys will see soon that are designed to beat down the Alomomola and the Cresselia. Even my Nidoking's very good at that with the sub-disable set, but it's Aerodactyl with the attacks I have. Aerial Ace, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Taunt in case Cresselia wants to Moonlight, in case Miltank wants to Milk Drink, in case anything wants to happen. I'm just able to taunt that, and I'm in a good position anyways. So, Aerodactyl is just a very good mon in this matchup, and I think that using it will be very fun. Next mon we have is going to be our Azumarill. Now, this is what I was talking about when I said I was going to be bringing something that would be able to break through the Alomomola, the Cresselia, all those good mons. Now, this spread right here, I got really cheeky with my EVs. In hindsight, I really should have just ran max attack on this thing. You guys will see in the battle why that is an important decision. We'll see if it matters too much or not, but max attack would be really nice on this thing, but I got cheeky with EVs, so yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you just want to take some hits better, get better speed. This speed that I have here, I believe it's so that I outspeed the Alomomola always, unless he has like a decent amount of speed investment, which is fine. Belly Drum, Aqua Jet, Play Rough, and Substitute. Sub up on the Alomomola, which is really good. Sub up on Cresselia most of the time. And then I'm just able to Belly Drum and Play Rough Aqua Jet through most of his team. Only issue would be the Whimsicott from there, but even still, like, it takes a shit ton from Aqua Jet if it's low enough, which it very well could be versus my team. Well, not really. I don't think he'd be switching into much on this thing, but I don't think he'd be switching into Whimsicott very much on my team, but maybe like the Tapu Bulu or something. Then I'm totally cool with that. Azumarill is just a very nice mon this matchup to have, and yeah, should have ran max attack, but what can you do? And then this is another one I should have not gotten cheeky with my EVs on. Stealth Rock, Iron Head, U-Turn, Thunder Wave, Jirachi with the Cassib Berry so that Magearna Shadow Ball doesn't do as much. Now I've got max speed so that I'm able to speed type with the Medicham, and I've got a little bit of attack and then a little bit of HP. Probably should have just devoted to one, but we'll see how that turns out in the battle. I think that devoting to one would have given me more leeway this battle, but it's still fine. The reason I have this spread is because it was something with the Magearna calcs that I can't exactly remember. I think it was something at +1 not killing me, like from a certain percentage, but that's all totally fine. I got too specific this game. Sometimes in Draft League you just gotta take it kind of easy, and it's all like good from there. So yeah, Jirachi, very nice mon this matchup, and hopefully getting up the Stealth Rocks is important for me. It'll help my Azumarill out a lot, help my Aerodactyl out quite a bit. And then I decided for our last mon we're gonna want like at least one more wall breaker so that I'm able to break through just everything like easily. And so I decided Adamant Life Orb Enbor with enough speed to outspeed no speed Cresselia would be really good for that. So we've got Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Superpower, and Toxic. Now this thing just decimates his entire team. Nothing really wants to come in on this thing. Alomomola might want to come in, but Wild Charge still does a shit ton. It's setup fodder for my Azumarill, setup fodder for quite a few setup mons on my team actually, so I don't even know if Alomomola would come. But yeah, this thing, T and I represent, we were just going to come in with reckless attacks, and hopefully he doesn't have speed on Cresselia. If he does, that'll be kind of a bummer. But this thing is kind of a good mon to just break through a lot of this shit. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this team builder, and yeah, this is going to be our first game in the GBA D-League, obviously. Hopefully I show you guys just what I'm capable of in this next game. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the battle. Alright, so after the team builder, I've actually decided we're just going to do it both in the same video this week. Probably don't expect that in future weeks, I guess. I'll probably be doing them in different videos over time. I think that'll just be more consistent, and it'll like be more entertaining to watch maybe. But anyways, before we get into the battle right here, I just want to give a huge shout out to my man, the Flying Bird, who will be doing most of my thumbnails for this, since my Photoshop is always just so like weird. And I'm also just not the best with it anyways, if I was able to actually get it on my computer, because I have tried it before. So big shout outs to him. But anyways, you guys can see we are here with the battle versus Leo. So unfortunately we did have to play on showdown this week. That's only because I was just invited to the GBA D-League, and we were kind of in a situation where I was at camp and I didn't want, I didn't have my DS and stuff, so there was no way I was going to be able to play on Wi-Fi this week. Didn't even have Wi-Fi in my dorm, which was totally fine. I wasn't that concerned about it. He was totally fine playing on PS, so here we are. In future weeks it will be on Wi-Fi though, so just keep that in mind. Obviously we are a Wi-Fi league, but anyways, you guys can see he brings a team of Mega Medicham, Magearna, Zygarde 10%, Cresselia, Miltank, and Whimsicott. Now, looking at this team right here, we see no Alomomola, so that's kind of annoying for me. I kind of expected it wouldn't come, however, that's one less setup fodder for my Azumarill, which is bothersome, but not too unmanageable. I don't see Rotom Frost, which is good. I was kind of concerned about Rotom Frost, because if you look at my team, Electric and Ice coverage kind of just do a lot of work to me, especially with Volt switching into mons like the Medicham and the Zygarde, so I was a little bit concerned about that, but luckily it's not here. No Nidoqueen either, so I'm not too concerned about him trying to get up all these weird hazards with Toxic Spikes and stuff. Either way, I have my Nidoking, so I'm totally fine with that. I didn't bring hazard removal this week, which is also just completely fine. I didn't feel like I would need it in this matchup that much. But anyways, you guys can see the lead matchup right here. I'm going to decide to lead with my Tapu Bulu, I believe. Yes, that is what I do, as he leads off with the Medicham. Now, the reason I led with Tapu Bulu is because versus anything on his team that I'm expecting to lead, which is either Medicham or Zygarde, I'm able to just go for a Scarfed Woodhammer right there and see what happens. Versus mons like Miltank, I'm able to easily switch out into mons like my Jirachi and just get up my Stealth Rock, so this was a win-win either way. I either get up rocks or I get off big damage on something, basically, is how I saw it. So Blue's going to lead right here, and I'm going to go right for the Woodhammer on this first turn, expecting him to just stay in and maybe Poison Jab, but he actually goes for Fake Out, and this is when I decide, alright, so I can probably play a little bit of a bluff game right here. I don't know if he's going to want to stay in with this Medicham this turn. He's probably going to suspect me to be Scarf, considering that I just stayed in on the Fake Out with no problem, or Kevia Berry or something along those lines, so I don't think he'll stay in here. I think he'll play it safe, go right to Miltank, so I decide I'm going to capitalize on that, and I'm going to go right into my Jirachi, but he does just go right for the Poison Jab, and Jirachi, fortunately that does kind of work out for me too, because Jirachi is immune. If he went for Ice Punch too, this was also totally fine. And now I'm kind of expecting him to switch, because I could be a Scarf Jirachi, I could just be max speed too, I could flinch him down, I could Thunder Wave him. He doesn't want any damage on this thing more than likely, because it is pretty nice versus my entire team. So I'm just going to get up my rocks, and I get that play right, get up my rocks here as the Miltank comes in, and I decide I'm just going to Thunder Wave this thing. It gets fully paralyzed, which is unfortunate for him. Would have gotten up rocks there more than likely, but what can you really do about that? And now I'm going to U-turn out and go right into my Emboar, and this is where I'm going to start punching holes in his team. Now, his Flare Blitz resist is Zygarde, so that kind of just shows how much this is going to do. There's no way that this is Thick Fat Miltank. I'm sure this is a Sap Sipper Miltank, I'm nearly positive, and even if it is, I don't think he'd stay in on this thing anyway, so I'm just going to go right for Flare Blitz, as the expected Cresselia switch is going to happen, and Cresselia is going to come in, and it is going to take a shit ton from that, 58%, so much damage, and it just does, Cresselia is so crippled now. Now, I ran a calc on the damage, and Adamant Life Orb, let's just see the recoil damage, Adamant Life Orb Emboar does that much amount to a max HP, max defense Cresselia, just about. So I'm not expecting much speed investment. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stay in, go for Flare Blitz, and hope that my speed investment pays off. And as you guys will see, it does indeed, and we are able to get rid of a huge defensive wall on turn 7 of the game, which is really big for me. Aerodactyl is much more freed up now, I feel, because I can now just taunt the Miltank, not to worry about an Ice Beam or anything from Cresselia if I want to break through holes on his team. And yeah, Flare Blitz does that, and that is really good for me. Now, Medicham's going to come in, and here I kind of make a little bit of a risky play, probably one that I shouldn't have made looking back at it. I'm going to go right into my Tapu Bulu here, and this play works out in a couple of ways, but not every way. He goes right for a high jump kick as I expected, and I knew I was going to take that hit. Now, I did risk him being Bullet Punch here, but if he was, I didn't know if he'd go for it on this turn. And also, I was kind of thinking that a set would be Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Poison Jab, and then I guess his last move could have been something to hit the Nidoking or something, which would have been probably his most optimal bring versus me. So I guess fearing Bullet Punch was a little bit ridiculous, but not really, because I have my Aerodactyl, so Yeah, but here, as I said, my bluff, I wanted to see if my bluff is going to work here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right for Woodhammer. Hornleech shouldn't kill from here, depending on his set. I don't think it ever will kill from here, even with the grassy terrain and the adamant nature. So just going to go right for the Woodhammer, and boom, we just destroy Medicham. So two big threats to my team gone immediately, but he still has that Magearna, which is annoying. Still the biggest threat to my team is the Magearna, but getting rid of these two mons right off the bat is just amazing for my team in general. Whoops. I'm not too concerned about the Zygarde anymore. It's still a little bit annoying versus my team. However, I feel like I will be able to check it decently well with my Azumarill plus my Aerodactyl. Miltank it's basically fodder for like half my team. Whimsicott is a little bit of an issue here though, as I kind of make a misplay on this turn. I expect him to go for a grass move, but he actually just goes right for a Shadow Ball, as you guys will see right here, and he's going to pop my Kasib Berry. Now that is really bad for the Magearna if it is like a Shift Gear set or something, or Trick Room, because that means that now I obviously don't have my thing that was going to be able to beat that. It does get a Spadef drop, which is a little bit annoying. I would have been in on this thing and able to kill it, but now with this Spadef drop, I'm a little bit concerned with the Shadow Ball, how much damage it's going to do. So as annoying as that is, I am just going to decide to stay in here and click Iron Head. And luckily he does go into the Zygarde, so he could have clicked Shadow Ball there, probably done a lot to me, maybe even taken me out, but he does go Zygarde, and I do get an unfortunate crit now. That crit does suck, however, he would have likely been in range of any other attack on my team from there that I would have gone for to kill this out, or to kill this off. And here I decide, alright, so now my best sack is probably just going to be my Emboar. I don't really want to take too much damage on my Azumarill yet, because it is kind of a win con. If I'm able to play it right, and Thousand Arrows is going to come out there and do a lot of damage to me and obviously kill me. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, now I have my Aerodactyl in, which will be a good threat versus this thing. Nothing really wants to come in on Aerodactyl at this point because Magearna, if it comes in, will take an Earthquake right after. Won't be too good for that thing. So yeah, Aerodactyl going to come in, and if he's Scarfed, the way that Thousand Arrows works is even if I am my Rock type and he is able to hit me, like I don't become weak to the ground move until I'm actually on the ground. So that's good for me. So I know I'll be able to take this hit if he's Scarfed. He is indeed Scarfed, and now I can't come back in on Rocks, which is annoying. So Scarf Bring, really good on his part. Definitely didn't really expect that too much. I thought maybe a more banded set, more offensive set would come, like a more physically like powerful set, but Choice Scarf is obviously very good versus me, as it did just basically cripple my Aerodactyl. Now in comes Magearna, and I'm like, alright, if this thing's like Shift Gear, if this thing's Weakness Policy, Trick Room, anything, I'm in a really bad position no matter what. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go right for the Taunt, and he is going to go for a Shadow Ball and just managed to take me out. So I'm like, alright, that's totally fine. I just kind of need some damage off on his team, and I should be good to go from there. Nidoking is a good mon to break through his team at this point, as I will be able to just go for a Earth Power on this turn, and things are looking pretty good for me overall. So Earth Power going to come out here, and the Whimsicott is going to come in, as I'm just going to go for sub actually on that turn, because yeah, if I was a Sludge Wave set, this would have been really good, but unfortunately I am my cheeky set, so I'm going to go for Energy Ball right there, as that's going to break my sub obviously. And now I really think this was kind of a big misplay in this match. I let my Nidoking take way more damage than I probably should. Probably could have switched out there, but either way, we are able to take that thing out right there. But now the only problem is that I am in range of the Miltank, and if the setup opportunity is right, he will be able to get in the Magearna on me. So I'm going to go for Earth Power right there. Kind of hoping he gets parried. He doesn't, unfortunately. And I do a lot of damage to him, which is good, but not good enough, I feel. As now, my game plan is, alright, I think I'm totally fine because I can just come in with the Azumarill. I should be able to OHKO Magearna with my Aqua Jet from here. If I get the Belly Drum off. As he is going to go for the Body Slam, gets a crit with 39%. I'm not sure if I subbed I would have been able to take the hit, which is why I didn't go for a sub right there. Either way, I feel like it's totally fine. However, I'm kind of concerned that this thing is Rocky Helmet at this point, and I feel like I just made a big mistake. And I feel like the crit is going to cost me the game right here. But luckily, we're going to see right here, I'm going to go for Aqua Jet, and he is actually not Rocky Helmet. So this is looking pretty good for me. However, Magearna, as I've said in the team builder, it's just an awful Pokemon to play. Like, this thing's disgusting in every sense of the word. Its stats are completely off the fucking chart. Like, I don't know how the league allows this. Obviously, I can't complain. It's obviously league format. Different leagues try different things, and obviously the GBA does know what it's doing. However, I feel like Magearna is just a little bit too broken for league format. I'm sure many people would agree with me on that one. But let's just see what happens here. I'm gonna go for the Aqua Jet. He says GG in chat. If I had my offensive investment, that being said, I definitely would have just killed off this Magearna, and it wouldn't have been a problem. But instead I got cheeky with the Cresselia rolls, and I didn't run max attack, and that's what really annoyed me. Because you guys can see he's left on 13%, and I'm like, alright, this is totally fine. If he goes for Shift Gear, I'm fine. If he goes for Trick Room, I'm fine. I can just Aqua Jet. But you guys will see right here. Despite the fact that I think he's going to be in range of my Jirachi no matter what, or my Azu if he goes for a setup move, he is popping the Citrus Berry, and I'm like, oh my god. So now I'm definitely not entirely sure if I win this game. I've got about a 60% chance to win this game from here because my Jirachi is going to need to come through and get this flinch on the Magearna more than likely. I don't think it'll kill from there, especially because I'm not max attack. If I ran max attack on both of these, this game would have been a GG for me. But like I said, sometimes you just get cheeky with the offensive investment, and I've always been against running like weird offensive spreads. I've always just ran max attack in the past, and I guess the GBA stress just kind of made me not do that. Kind of made me more like specific with my EVs. Kind of like, I don't know how to like kind of like show offy, I guess. Which was definitely a mistake on my part. I definitely should have just ran max attack on both of these. Or at least a little more bulk on this, because you guys can see my Iron Head comes through here, and I'm like, please just give me this flinch, he's got such a great record right now. I'm not doing so great with my record, considering that I just inherited the team that's 3-4. Please let me get this flinch. But he doesn't. I get the Trick Room, and I'm like, alright, for the love of God, somehow, Jirachi, you managed to live the Shadow Ball, but unfortunately we do not, and that is a very good game to Leo right there. So, definitely down to the wire. Magearna clutching it as always. Like I said, this thing just destroys so many teams, even without the Z move. Allows for stuff like Citrus Berry to run. That random Citrus Berry just definitely saved him, and very good prep on his part. Not much you can really do about that. If I went for Earthquake with the Aerodactyl, I would have gotten the Citrus Berry too, as opposed to Taunt. Also, I stand by that play, because if he went for the Shift Gear, or the Trick Room, then I probably would have just lost from there, as my Azumarill wouldn't have been able to take it out from there. So I do definitely stand by that play right there. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed our first GBA D-League game. Next week we're up against Goldoa, who is also doing very well in the league right now. So I hope you guys do enjoy that game. And without further ado, see you guys next time. Peace.